Steph, the guys are clearly going with the Draymond at center, Kuminga, Wiggins unit. What's different about you guys when those guys are playing like this? You know, is it a different feel when those three are together?
I think the biggest thing is if we can find a way to not foul, get stops, use obviously the speed at those three positions, physicality, athleticism, it makes our offense a little bit easier. We gave up a lot of offensive rebounds in the first quarter, but once we settled that, our offense fed off our defense, and you see J.K. getting run out layups. You see Wiggs operating in space. Me and Draymond getting into pick and roll situations. So it's if we could play bigger than our size, then it usually works in our favor. That's just the challenge on a nightly basis, depending on matchups and who we're facing. That all five guys are working together defensively.
Kuminga's had stretches and even past seasons where it feels like it has felt like he's coming along, and then it's kind of been a stop-start. What to you feels different about what he's doing this time around in general?
Just clarity on how he can impact the game, defensive intensity and pressure, taking what the defense gives him on the offensive end, whether it's attacking driving lanes, finishing the rim, like I said, getting transition buckets for us, knocking out open shots when he has them, and there's just an element of aggressiveness. You don't want him out there second guessing anything, and for the most part, he's done that really consistently, and it's given him a lot of results, obviously, and He's out in 39 minutes. That obviously helps.
There was a play with about 2:30 left where Nick Nurse sends the double at you off of Kuminga. You kind of toss it over to him. He goes, scores. Is that a satisfying kind of moment for you, or a situation where it is a guy like Nurse, who I know you have history with, sending a double and you just kind of get an easy bucket right off that because of what Kuminga's doing in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I think, even without Clay tonight, who's a spacer out, you have to be aware of where he is. You just, like you said, make the simple play, and something good came out of it, which was nice. And that is, I think maybe last year or a couple months ago, it might have been a pump fake or trying to analyze the situation, and then by that time the defense kind of can get reset. Like whatever the play is, whatever the look is, or the decision he made is the right one, just be aggressive. So it does help to take advantage of advantages like that and give us great momentum.
All right, Steph. You guys have played, I think, about 70% of your games have been clutch games. I think tonight was the exception, although it was headed in that direction until late in the fourth quarter. What have you guys learned about yourselves when you're playing all these close, tight games that are, 5 points, 5 minutes or less remaining?
What have we learned? We got to be better. We've lost too many of those for various reasons. I think the challenge is to not, I was talking about it last game, is to not get deflated or defeated, when you're in those situations, losing confidence or whatever because of the past results. Like, you have to believe that whatever night it is, that's your night to get over the hump. And that's why there's a lot of frustration after last game, because it was another opportunity missed. On the road coming up, you got to expect that there's going to be games like that you have to be prepared for. I think we're getting better, but better is only good if you win.
Steph, Brandon played in the starting lineup tonight in place of Clay. Brandon has described himself as a mini Draymond. Do you think
he said that?
Uh-huh.
I love it. I love that guy so much.
So I was going to ask, what do you think of that description, and also what are your thoughts on him being selected for the Rising Stars game?
Great honor, great acknowledgement, you know, considering where he's been his last 3 years from college to now. I think he tweeted about dreams coming true, whatever it was, a couple months ago. I don't know about that comparison, though. I'll let him and Draymond figure out their similarities and differences. But I just love his confidence when he's out there. He gives us great energy. He gives us in practice and games, like he feels like, and he knows he belongs, and that you can't teach that. And then it's just about him learning the lessons he needs to learn, you know, as a guy that's, you know, being trusted to play heavy minutes and continue to get better. So I think he comes with that attitude every night. Draymond, big shoes to fill.
Steph, speaking of Draymond, Steve said that Draymond lifts up Andrew. He lifts up Kuminga. And Draymond shared what he tells JK each game, which is nobody in the world can stop you. I mean, how much do those kinds of affirmations and encouraging words and behind the scenes, you know, pep talks matter for these guys coming from Draymond?
I mean, I'm sure they matter a lot. I don't know how they would explain it. I think JK's talked about it, you know, giving him a little boost of confidence. The cool part is, you know, Draymond had those type of guys, you know, Jermaine O'Neal, David West, David Lee when he was with us. Like, that's a vet's job to, you know, be sounding board, be that a gas in the tank for the young guys. And what they do with that energy and that confidence is up to them. So that's a team atmosphere, and I love the fact that, you know, they're open to that motivation, knowing it's coming from Draymond. It can come from a lot of different ways, and like I said, it's up to them to, you know, figure out what they want to do with that.
And your 3-point shootout at All-Star Weekend, how much fun is this going to be with you and Sabrina?
It's gonna be awesome. I know it's something that hadn't been done before, and the fact that we get to be on that stage, and, you know, from last summer when, you know, they had their All-Star game and she shocked the world what she did, to the conversation around that, and now the challenge of what's going to happen in Indiana. So I'm excited. I'm coming to win. I know she is too. I think she said she's moving back to the NBA line. And that's, you can tell how much confidence she has in herself. So I think everybody, you know, obviously tuning in should love the competition no matter how it plays out. But I'm definitely going to win.
Steph, you mentioned earlier about playing bigger than your size as a team. Tonight you had Joel Embiid, 5 of 18, 8 turnovers. What was the defensive mentality going in, and how did you feel about how it was executed?
You could play the best defense in the world against that dude, and he can have whatever he has, 70, whatever. So, like, it does require a team effort. It requires you giving up something. You know, he's going to get to his mid-range. He's going to draw crowd attention. You're going to have somebody probably open on the weak side, and everybody has to just fly around and rotate. You know, I know he's dealing with some knee stuff, but you just got to continue to send bodies at him and make it as tough as possible, knowing he's such a great player. You play the best defense in the world, and he could still, you know, get a bucket. So up until he got hurt, it worked in our favor, and we executed our game plan pretty well.
Also, it looked like the whole building got a lift tonight when the AFC Championship winners strolled through tonight. What's your Super Bowl prediction?
I mean, obviously, being here, you know, you love to see the Niners get it done. I do love Mahomes and Kelsey. Got to play golf with them this summer. I see him in Tahoe every year, so we have a pretty good relationship. In my household, it's just a win-win kind of vibe, but obviously, you know, the hometown team. How long has it been since they won? 95. You love to see that.
Kerr mentioned that you guys are doing some things differently than you have in the past. Draymond asked Draymond, he said, listen, if you do the same thing for 10 years, opponents are going to figure some of it out. How different are things for you? Is it as simple as maybe a little more isolation, less of the ball movement to get one-on-one situations? And do you think that, it was about something you had to do?
This team is different than in teams that we've had in the past, and because this team is different, some of the patterns that we've been used to, and with Draymond out for so long, it opened up opportunities to kind of reassess, how we're trying to create shots, how we're trying to create momentum offensively, and even how teams are guarding us has gotten a little bit more extreme, and trying to take me and Clay out of that off-ball stuff and, crowd our space and make other guys, try to handle and make plays. So you have to lean into that and get a little bit organized. There's times throughout the year where we do simplify the offense a little bit to try to get out of a rut or kind of a downswing, and we had that conversation probably last week, and we've been playing better offensively, and I think there's a little bit more organization on that end. Now you have to marry that with the defensive side, and I know we lost the last or 2 games before and won tonight, but our offense has been really solid. I think we're getting better. It's just we gotta keep doing it.
Thank you so much. Hi, Steph. As the team is on the road for the lengthy stretch in the second half of the season, and especially next week, still have the 5 game. It's a hard game schedule. The significance of each game intensifies. So consider this. Could you elaborate how to make sure you can take enough rest and play performs well and help the team move forward? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 5-game trip is going to be tough. Our record where it is, we need every single one of them to get to All-Star break with momentum, and we'll get our rest, we'll get our recovery. Everybody hopefully can be available. We know we're starting to get some guys back over the next couple weeks, but every game's important. And the challenge is rough because we're 4 games under 500, and we know, we need to make up some ground before things get out of hand.